I kind of am not sure about. What I'm not sure about is like what everybody's saying about basically Jay losing the belt because they brought R2 back as a punishment to the fans. How is that really punishing the fans? That's really punishing Jay. So
So
was
the reason why it's a punishment to the fans is because, and I know Gaijin, myself, Daydream, we was all speaking on this, and they agreed that yes, it is punishment due to the fact that at that press conference, Triple H showed nothing but a major distastefulness towards our truth when they had asked him, when one of the interviewers, like, asked him the question about our truth returning. He showed a true distastefulness. Plus, let's be honest, you claim that it was a work. Our truth son said stop the cap. Our truth himself said this was not a work. Hell, our truth himself said it in recent tweets that he was being released. It wasn't a case of like, oh, they just let him go. No, he was being released. His contract was not getting renewed. The problem is that the voice of the fans voiced their opinion, and basically you didn't like the fact that once again you had to do what you always say. You had to eat your words. Remember what you said, be a fan and not a critic. Well, guess what? Your so-called fans became critics again, and they criticized you for what you did. And you didn't like the fact that the fans basically spoke it into being. Keep our truth in the business. Now I know some people saying, what about Carlito? In my opinion, Carlito should have never even returned. I feel like his era and his wrestling past is gone. If you think about it, he wasn't in any matches. You know, he was just doing promos. He was just doing an R Truth thing. But I feel like Carlito was real good, like back in the 2000s, going into like the 2010s, 2015, and that was it. Him coming back and returning, it was just like, yeah, like it was good to see him, but it's like, yeah, you don't really got to be here, bro. Plus, your family is mad rich in Puerto Rico right now with the I think it's a TV company or something like that that they own, a network service or something. And yeah, so you got money. However, when it came to our truth, let's just be honest. Part of the reason why people was feeling how they were feeling, we know it's true, it's because Triple H also didn't want to have to go through a racial controversy. You've gone through enough of them. Your stepfather, I mean, your father-in-law definitely has gone through them. I mean, the whole thing with the Hurt Business, the Hurt Syndicate going over to AEW, MVP voiced his opinions. Shelton Benjamin voiced his opinions about you. Bobby Lashley did the same thing about you. Ricochet has done the same thing about you. Swerve has done the same thing about you. Let's be honest. Then look at Naomi, a woman who I'm congratulations to Naomi once again, but it is crazy how this woman has been putting in so much work. And because she's about to retire, you finally want to give her a shining moment, which is why I made the comment that I made earlier in your earlier live. When it comes to black wrestlers, you only get your last shining moment when you are about to retire or when you're getting ready to get fired. And it shows. Like right now, look at Carmelo Hayes. Trick Williams is getting a way bigger push than Carmelo right now.
yeah?
It's
I
like,
mean,
what are we doing here? Now, if Carmelo was to leave and go to AEW and get the push that he deserves, what's going to be the excuse? What excuse can Triple H say besides, we I don't know how, or I don't know what way we can really speak on it. No, you can speak on it. You just don't want to because you know where it's going to fall under. Same thing with our truth. Our truth got tired of being taken as a comedic. He got tired of being a comedian in the company and not being taken serious. Plus, he was going through a lot of racial things too. I mean, hell, Jim Ross and Bruce Pritchard, they told him, "You are a black man in a white man's sport." And it's crazy how those were them same words they told him played a major role in his career. And now that he's taken himself, now that the wrestling company and the industry and the IWC is taking him more serious, guess what? I feel like Triple H was real angry about that. And I feel like he basically was like, okay, as part of his punishment with the fans, I'm gonna have your so-called most overhyped babyface lose the title. Here's the problem: you made him lose the title to a person whose title run was trash, in my opinion. Just in my opinion, I feel like Gunther's championship run is mid as hell. It's not
Yeah.
intriguing. It doesn't like pull me in. But
No,
we'll see what happens at Night of Champions. Hopefully, something great happens.
I can't disagree with you. I definitely can't disagree with you, Conscious, because like um Gunter's run as world champion, his IC run was better than his
Hmm.
world championship run. We definitely can say that. Um
Yes, it was.
and uh and what else I could say is that, like I said, getting back to Jay, I just feel like with this whole thing, like they never really gave Jay a chance. They never really gave him a chance to like really flourish. They just like kind of just they put him out there. They never really written him in real good stories. They put him in random matches. They had him fight other people's battles. I mean, like that's not how you put a champion in a storyline. That's not how you do that. When you become champion, your main focus is to be champion. They have Roman Reigns hold the belt for like 1,000 plus something days. You know what I'm saying? Dude literally held his belt for like 4 something years. He
Hmm.
literally had both belts, matter of fact, for like 4 something years before he actually lost the belts. I'm not saying they should have did that for Jay Uso, but what I'm saying is that if y'all could take time out to write a compelling story on how this guy carried the company through the rest of the pandemic and beyond, why can't y'all do the same thing for Jay Uso and write something that everybody will be invested in? You
I
know?
mean, Triple H, once again, like I said, I don't care for this guy, but if you look back, VKM, you know who that is. Let's look back at all of his promos and his storylines. Anytime with Undertaker, every time Undertaker became world champion, what was the number one thing he did? He made sure that his promos and his storylines were up to par. When it came to Batista or Triple H or John Cena or Randy Orton, any of those legends back in even the legends before them, Stone Cold, The Rocks, anytime they became champion, what did Vince McMahon do? He made sure that they had the promo, they had the storyline, they had the build up, they had the hype, and it brought something. I mean, Austin and um Austin and The Rock. We saw the build up for WrestleMania 17. We saw it from when Deborah, his ex-wife, was the Rock's manager to the Rock and Stone Cold having a tag team match against Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle with Triple H ringside because him and Austin wound up having the three stages of hell match as well as the Rock facing Kurt Angle for the world championship and No Way Out. Of course, the Rock won, but guess what? We saw the promo where Austin let it be known. You got the World Heavyweight Championship and I want it. Like you got something in mind that I really want. And what do we see? We saw Austin win his second, I think his second or third Royal Rumble in 2001 when he hit a clothesline on Kane. And we knew this was going to be like the next big thing. Like once again, we're getting Austin versus The Rock, a match that has truly went above global proportions and expectations. And every time these two are in the ring, you know the match is going to be a 5 star. And it's just like when you think about it and you look back at all those great storylines when these guys were having their feuds with each other, it pulled you in. It made you a fan. It made you want to watch and just enjoy. Right now, it just feels like, okay, everything's all over the place. Like I think I was telling Angel, I said, if you had to put me as a storyline writer, okay, cool. You got Gunther who just won the title. You know what I would do? I would go ahead and I would use what Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross just did on Monday when Karrion confronted Sami Zayn about him never being able to become a champion. Sami Zayn said, I can become a world champion. You'll see. Guess what? I would use that as part of the promo to build Sami Zayn up to win King of the Ring, which then he gets a title shot when you become King of the Ring. He faces Gunther at the next pay per view. I would have it to where Goldberg returns, costs Gunther the title. Sami Zayn gets it. Sami Zayn gets the title. But then guess what happened? Oops. Guess what? As soon as like, and I think I don't know if you remember this, but you remember when Edge came out to the ring, and then Batista came out and he speared and he hit a power bomb on Edge, and then
Mm-hmm.
out of nowhere, CM Punk came out with his Money in the Bank briefcase, cashed
Mm-hmm.
it in, and beats Edge for the World Championship. I would use that same kind of like tactic, but I would make it to where okay, Sami Zayn pins Gunther, wins the World Heavyweight Championship. But then out of nowhere, Braun Breaker spears Sami Zayn. Next thing you know, Seth Rollins comes out with the briefcase, cashes it in, beats Sami Zayn, become the new world champion. Next thing you know, okay, let's keep going. This storyline is going real good. Now we got Sami Zayn, who will definitely be getting a rematch against Seth Rollins at the next pay per view. And now we got Gunther versus Goldberg. You know what I'm saying? Like I would make it interesting, like make it to where it's like, yo, that's crazy. This storyline is actually good. I like how it's starting off, and I like how it's gonna, keep going. Like I would could do the best I can to keep the fans on their toes, but make it unpredictable. Make it to where fans would be like, I never thought they would have done that. But also have the fans saying this storyline is dope. I like it. But WWE, man,
Yeah, I can't agree with you. I can't disagree with you on that neither. I hear you. I hear you. Um, I want to hear Chad's opinion, and I want to hear Jay's opinion. So we're gonna start off with Chad. Chad, what you think about this whole Jay Uso R Truth situation?
The Jey Uso R Truth situation. Well, I'm gonna say this: like I seen it coming that Jey Uso was gonna lose the championship. Like I just had a feeling that he was gonna lose. Like they're about to give the title back to Gunther, and they
Mm-hmm.
did. And I mean, really, like Gunther. Like I'll say this about Gunther: I'm not really a fan of his character, but his wrestling skills are, they're all right. Like he can go in the ring. So I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with this title reign. I mean, because his first one was boring, so I don't know if this one's gonna be any better. And then we'll see what they do with Jey Uso. Like maybe he's the mystery man in the qualifying match coming up at King of the Ring. Um,
So what you're saying is that Jay Uso could possibly have a chance to win the King of the Ring, and then try to go back after the title again. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, yeah. A matter of fact, I wouldn't mind if they did throw him in there and give him another chance.
I mean, honestly speaking, I wouldn't mind it neither. But my thing is that the writing, like, make me believe that this is the like. Look, we already know Jay Uso's a fan favorite. We like Jay Uso. But what I don't like is the stories they're putting him in. I don't like those stories. I don't like the fact that every 5 minutes, because he's a tag team specialist, you're tagging him with somebody. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that every 5, 10 minutes, like for the first couple of weeks that he had the title, what happened? He was getting jumped. He was getting ambushed. And then he got sucker punched by Jake Paul. That made like all that stuff they were adding made no sense whatsoever. No
They
sense
were making
whatsoever.
they were making Jey Uso's world title reign look very weak. He didn't look
Exactly.
strong.
Exactly.
He didn't look like a strong champion. I guarantee you, they're gonna make Gunther look like a stronger champion than they did Jey Uso.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? Now that I think about it, Now that I think about it, I definitely don't think it was a punishment as far as us fans. I think because they don't know how to write for Jay Uso, that it's easier to write for somebody like Gunther because he already has the skill sets and the persona of a heel champion. You guys gotta look at it from this standpoint. They don't want to write for Jay Uso because they're actually gonna have to use their brain. It's easier to write for Gunther because Gunther kind of sort of writes out his own path when he gets in that ring. You know what I'm saying? Like he kind of does. Like he writes out his own path. Whether it's for
For
Jay,
real,
for
I
whereas
was gonna
for
say for real. Gunther is a general in the ring. You have to say that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. If I'm a lazy writer and I don't want to write, I don't want to write for somebody. I'm gonna go right for Gunther because I know Gunther is the easiest bet. I can write hella bars for Gunther, and Gunther's gonna get it right. Whether it's I go right for Jay Uso, I might have to do a few ad libs here and there. I might have to do a double entendre. I might have to do all this other stuff to make Jay look good. Whether where when I go back to Gunther, I'm not going to have to do all that. That's what I think really happened. I think they were just too lazy to really sit down and think how they're going to make Jay Uso look good. So I think that it was better for them. They thought it was better for them to put the title back on Gunther because he's easier to write for. That's what I think. That's
I
what I
agree
think.
with you. He's easier to write for because I'm like he's basically gonna look at the scripts and tell you, "Hey, yeah, give me this one," or I got an idea here. Let's do this. You know?
Can I propose something about this? The not being able to write about for Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, does it say something that they have to write for Jay? Like, I mean, like taking it back, and I know like Barbs, you'll understand, and Jay and everybody, you guys will understand. Like in the territory days, you know what I mean? Like, did Bill Watts really need to write these storylines like Mr. Wrestling 2 and versus like the Midnight Express and like Roddy versus Greg Valentine, like though they didn't need this complex writing. It was like, dude, just give him good matches with actual competitors. Like I mentioned this about Gunther's first reign, and like the consensus was how Gunther's first reign really sucked, and it was lackluster compared to his IC reign. And I kind of put it like, well, the reason it really sucked was they refused to have him in any matches with the main event talent. Look at, he had the belt from SummerSlam to Mania, so what, 8 months give or take, right? He didn't fight Punk. He didn't fight Roman. He didn't fight Seth in a rematch. He didn't fight Drew. He fought none of the main event talent. And they like, it was easier for them to put him in intercontinental mid card matches against lower to mid card talent because it doesn't hurt anybody in the placement by moving someone up slightly to have them challenge Gunther. Like, Gunther fought almost everybody in these matches as an IC champ. But like in the main event as the world champ, they refused to have him. Punk couldn't take a loss to Gunther. Gunther couldn't take a loss to Punk. Same thing with Roman and Seth and Drew and anybody in the main event picture. Like, no one, they were the WWE weren't willing to have any of them eat a pin, eat a loss. Okay, then how about we move up somebody? Like, how about Gable gets moved up a little bit to get a main event shot, to get a world title shot? Like, how do we not get him against any of these main event talents? And so it's kind of what it is. It's similar to what they did with Jay. Like they refused to put Jay in with this top talent. He's the main event guy. And who did he fight? He fought Seth once in an impromptu match. and then he loses it to Gunther. And like you guys mentioned, tag team matches. Like how did Gable not get a title shot? How did Jay not fight Sammy? How did he not fight Punk? How did he not fight any of them? Like the problem is them either refusing to have their main event talent eat a pin, which in all honesty, it doesn't hurt any of them. If Seth got the loss, it didn't hurt Seth. Seth is in the top faction, top heel group on Raw now. Punk is 48 years old and a legend. Him eating a pin, him eating a DQ, something like that. It doesn't hurt them. It doesn't hurt their legacy. It doesn't hurt their standing on the roster. Like, but also it's so that's what I'm saying is it they refuse to let the main event guys eat a pin or take a loss, or is it their refusal to move guys up in the card? Like Jay could have fought Penta. Jay could have fought Sammy. He could have fought Gable. He could have fought these guys. Like, and I mentioned it on one of my lives a couple weeks back about how at the very least that's something that AEW does right. Like we complain about AEW not necessarily fleshing out the storylines when it comes to some of these matches, but at least we get those matches. At least we got Swerve versus Moxley. We're getting Hangman versus Moxley. We got Christian versus Moxley. We got Copeland versus Moxley. Samoa Joe versus Moxley. We're getting these matches that the WWE, like I said, and I that's kind of what I'm proposing the question, is that they refuse to let the main event talent eat a pin, get a loss, or do they just refuse to move guys out of where they feel like they're comfortable in having them? Like, why not make these guys main event guys? Like, what happened to elevating guys? Remember when like the IC title or the IC contenders, after a while, they would move up to the main event roster, the main event spot, or the main event. Like, so it's what is WWE doing as far as the elevating their roster? You know what I mean? Sorry for taking up so much time.
Nah, man, nah. You good. I definitely hear you was cooking, bro. Like I definitely hear what you're saying, and that just leads me back to say this, like they're lazy. They're lazy. That's just what it is. They're lazy. There are some lazy folks behind the scenes that don't want to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's easier for them to take somebody like Gunther and put him in all these matches because they don't have to do much. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have to do much. Like, it is what it is. They don't want to write. So my thing is this then, if that's the case and you're not willing to work and put this guy in situations to make him a believable champion, then why did you put the belt on him in the first place? You should never put the belt on him, because now we're going to be expecting him to get that belt back at some point in time in his career. He needs to have that belt back and needs to have a legitimate run. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the problem. I hear everybody saying, well, one thing you guys did not speak on, it's a mixture of opinions floating around the internet since he won the Royal Rumble. Even the build up for the Royal Rumble of him expecting to win, let alone people were really fickle about how he beat Braun Baker and held the title for 2.5 weeks, then losing it back to Braun Baker before Braun Baker lost it in the Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania. So it's a mixture of opinions concerning Jey Uso's having a single championship, although when he went solo after leaving the Bloodline, that people say, oh, he's over in Raw, go ahead and put the Intercontinental Championship on. He's white hot. The problem was he got so white hot, and the interest of backing him up as a legitimate champion, as a mid-card champion, started to wear off because they felt like it was taking too long. Then you had the other aspect before The Rock announced he was the final boss during WrestleMania 40. People were starting to say, okay, when Jay had wrestled Roman over on SmackDown and they had that Hell in a Cell match, they was like, why are they giving him a title push? Here comes the nepotism involved with the Samoan dynasty. So people still holding that grudge of the Samoan dynasty nepotism aspect for Jay having a title shot after Roman had been dethroned by Cody. So then you have to look at it like this from a booking standpoint. Yes, Raw did not book him correctly as a champion after he won it at WrestleMania 41 due to the fact that some wrestlers were recovering from injuries prior to WrestleMania between Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber, as well as Raw television programming. So they did not have a solidified main event top tier roster in place to throw at Jey Uso after he won the belt. That's another aspect nobody has talked about. The other thing about it was the reason why they put the belt on him in particular at the time was he was white hot in merchandise. Anytime you have a face that is white hot in merchandise, your top 3 sellers week after week, month after month, the trajectory of they're going to look at it, they're going to use artificial intelligence, which they had openly admitted back during WrestleMania 39. They used artificial data to determine who should they put the belt on in the main event at WrestleMania 39 and moving forward. That's what they were going off of. Not so much, week after week on Raw or on SmackDown. They also looked at that as well. But who was not so much believable anymore as far as the character to the audience, to the home viewers, as well as, who could they put behind sponsorship to be the face of the promotion. You see Jay in the commercials with LA Knight doing Slim Jim, doing Minute Maid with Cody and Bianca. Then he got another commercial out there that he's doing. So he's kind of the face of the industry, the face of the promotion, so to speak. But the longevity aspect was really, due to the fact that he was losing momentum. People were tired of saying, all Jay and Jimmy do the same moves that even as single wrestlers. They do the same moves that they do in the tag team. They want something different. The fickleness was starting to really pander into the opinions of the WWE overall. And so because of that, like how we got Ron Truth back after a week, they looked at it like, okay, if we're gonna listen to the fans about our Truth, Ron Killings coming back, we gotta listen to the fans concerning not supporting Jey Uso anymore as a legitimate champion over on Raw.
Okay, I hear you. So, all right, I'm reading the comments, and a lot of y'all down there going back and forth. So
Yeah.
let's do this real quick, okay? All right, so I'm gonna start off with UPW. I believe you might be new to my live. Are you? Have you been on this live before?
I've seen him before.
I've been on there before.
Oh,
He did
okay.
it
All right. Oh, all right. I wasn't sure. So I want to hear UPW's opinion. Then I want to hear my man Rocks the Third. I want to hear your opinion because you was down there talking spicy. So I want to hear what you got to say. Then we gonna float back up. We gonna float back up to my man Doofy Dan. Then we gonna hit up the man Don real quick, and then we just gonna go from there. So is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So let's start off with UPW, man. So what's good, man? What's your opinion on this?
Shit just kind of sucks right now. I mean, they haven't been doing a good job of telling any of these stories for the past 9 months. So, I mean, what can we split hairs about or be mad about at this point? The John Cena shit has been bad. Him beating Cody was weird. It just sucked. All of these things may be done well in concept, but all together in the execution has been terrible. I don't really know why Jay's champion. He probably shouldn't have been champion. He probably shouldn't have won the Rumble. It was cool that he did, but the execution of how he did it and then afterwards was shitty too. So I don't know. I think overall, across all of the wrestling companies and brands, everything kind of sucks right now, if you want to, my opinion. It's all sloppy. It's all shitty, rushed, surface level storytelling at best. Some of it's just unexplained. We don't know why John Moxley has a championship in a briefcase that we haven't seen, which is aesthetically upsetting but also nonsensical. He's never explained his motives. John Cena's motives also do not make sense whatsoever. And it makes it really difficult for other people to come and say why they don't like this person and why they want to beef with the big bad when their goals and their reasons for why they do it and the shit that they're doing don't make any sense. Have either not been articulated or don't make any sense or both. So I don't know. When the top of the card kind of sucks, it trickles on down and then just random stuff happens. Like I'll be honest, I don't care what happens at the lower part of the card. I don't care what happens with Ray Phoenix flipping around. Like that's great. He could do all that, but we're here to see the stuff that we care about that makes sense, that like pulls you in, and this ain't that.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. I can't honestly though. I don't want to, and I'm not trying to give too much bail, but I'm gonna say this: I can't really put all of it on the talent. It's the writers. It's the writer's job to put them in compelling situations that's going to make us believe like these are the guys that are going to hold the fort down. You know what I'm saying? It's the writer's job to do that. If I'm a director and I'm a producer and I'm not putting out the proper scripts to let you know that this is what you going to say and how you going to say it, you know what I mean? And then you could just improvise here and there. How am I supposed to believe that you're the guy that's going to carry the belt into the future? I'm not going to believe it. You know what I mean? It's like watching a bad Tubi movie. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't going to believe it. I'm not going to want to watch. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I feel with Jay. Like as great as Jay was with the fans, like I said, they're not doing him any favors because the way they've written his story should not have been written that way. I mean, it shouldn't have been written that way. Like, he should have had one of the best, he should have had top 5 storylines in the company. Why? Because for one, how he got to this point was compelling in itself. You could have just rolled off of that and you would have been good. But they didn't do that. They've written off of that to a certain point, and then they switched gears and they started doing something totally different from how he got there in the first place. And that's my problem with it. Now he don't have the belt. We don't necessarily know how he's going to get back to the title picture. He might not even get back to the title picture. He might end up in the mid card. I mean, for God's sake, we got Damian Priest in the mid card. We got what's his name? Drew McIntyre's in the mid card now too. They all are going after Jacob Fatu's title right now.
As well as don't forget Damian Priest. Damian Priest is now mid card.
That's what I said.
Can I quickly respond to that?
Yeah.
Because I think like
hold on for a second, EP. Hold up for a second. I want to add on to what Boss was saying. Boss, remember before Jay left SmackDown to come over to Raw, he had all that momentum during the Bloodline Civil War, right? Then when he left to go over to came over to Raw, they initially booked him talking about how he was, one of the top guys over on SmackDown, come as one of the hot pickup from SmackDown coming over with his momentum as a singles wrestler, right? Mm-hmm. So that's part of the reason they dropped the ball. Then they re-picked it up, so to speak, and revamped it to give him this major title run. But like I said before, the Intercontinental Championship, then to build him up, talking about how he going to redeem himself from losing the Intercontinental Championship. He had his sights set on qualifying for the Royal Rumble, then winning the Royal Rumble, right? He did all those things based on the writing. But like everybody's in agreement, including myself, once he got the title, the booking aspect dropped. I don't know necessarily if I agree with the writing, because I don't really see a decline, so to speak, in the writing aspect from the promo aspect. He took it up a gear leading up to the WrestleMania match, and once he won at WrestleMania, he kept that momentum and taking his promo to another level. as far as that writing aspect. Now, if you're talking about writing as far as storyline build up for the masses, he had on Raw, as well as this the Money in the Bank aspect, then yeah, I can see where you're coming from on that part. But overall,
that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like that's the stuff that matters. The whole lead to getting into the PLEs and stuff like that. What he's doing as far as his promos, I ain't got a problem with it. Even Macho Man didn't say much, and he got straight to the point. So what he did with his promos, he did what works for him. All I'm saying is that put him in a situation that's going to make me believe that that's my champ. That's all I'm saying, and I don't feel they did that. I don't feel they did it right. That's what I mean. I don't feel like they did it right, you know. But I hear what you're saying, though. I hear what you're saying.
I mean, part of that is certainly right, and some of that is the talent, right? Like, there's no reason. I don't know what AEW does this too. Everybody does this, but like the babyface has to be some crying ass bitch essentially, which I don't understand. Like, we all love Jey Uso. Everybody's getting hyped. Why would he be a character
How else
crying about getting his ass beat all the time? Like, why would that be someone that you wanted to continue to cheer for? You know what I mean? So yeah, going into WrestleMania, he was kind of hamstrung by the fact that he was a crying victim babyface. And then
how else would you expect a babyface to react, or just act? Period. I mean,
what was that? What was that? Like, what'd you say, Rox?
I said, how else would you want a face to have to react? I mean, as far as playing a babyface, like, how else would you want it to be displayed? I don't get it.
My top babyface probably shouldn't be a victim. I don't think that that's an endearing way for your main character or your supposed main character to portray himself, right? We wouldn't like The Rock if he was a victim all the time. We wouldn't like Stone. Not even to say that he doesn't get victimized or he doesn't get beat up. I'm not saying that. But for him to self-acknowledge that he is a victim is crazy as a character. That's a very, and again, like, it's not exclusive to Jey Uso. This happens to other, like Adam Page has the same thing going, which doesn't make sense. I don't understand the self-deprecation of your star. That doesn't make him seem like more of a star. It makes him seem like a bitch. So when he goes to do things and he's put in positions where he doesn't look particularly strong or cool, it's emphasized by the fact that he's just been crying about getting victimized, right? So even when he wins the title, we're supposed to ignore the fact that he was crying about being a victim 2 weeks ago.
Adam Page at one point a victim with Swerve.
He is a victim. Adam Page is still currently a victim, and that's why he is not over, right? Like, you can't have a sad, downtrodden.
If you think that decreases the value of being a good face, then I mean,
it does, bro. It does.
Saying that he's over.
It does, bro. You don't like stars are not that way.
Cool,
stars are not that way. And there has never, you can't point to me a star in the wrestling industry that has been a sad, downtrodden, babyface superstar.
So we can say the same thing for John Cena, for example.
John Cena has never been a sad, downtrodden, babyface superstar.
So when he lost to The Rock after 28, he wasn't.
We're not talking about Hangman. We're talking about Adam Page.
That was one thing, and he wasn't sad. He got mad. Same with Shawn Michaels. When Shawn Michaels came to get the Undertaker after the Undertaker beat him, he wasn't sad. He was mad. He had shit on his mind. That
Adam Cole. Adam Cole.
There's a distinction between I have revenge, I have a mission that I need to conquer, and I'm just a sad, downtrodden, defeated babyface.
Oh, hold on. Hold on, guys. I want to clarify something. Hold on.
Because Cody Rhodes has done that. For an example, he just recently done that where he was sad, he was distraught, he was confused.
I will say that is it's not exclusive to Jey Uso or Hangman Page. It is becoming a thing
you are
frequently
about Page.
recently
Right.
pro wrestling. I think Bars, you're on mute. I see you talking, but I can't hear you.
Nah, I was trying. I forgot I was on mute. My bad. But I was trying to figure out. I was trying to hear exactly because I was trying to answer the chat section while you guys was talking. So I was trying to figure out who you're referring to. So what you're saying is that Hangman Adam Page is not over?
Not really. He's a sad, depressed character.
Hold on. Can I ask this?
Adam Page is not over.
So hold on. That's crazy to say because he is like one of the top sellers for AEW for the past 5 years. That's hold on.
Nobody
Hangman
knows
Page
who
is
Adam
most
Page is.
definitely
He's been
over.
the top seller for AEW for the past 5 years.
Okay,
Listen,
but that's a very small. That's
um,
like being the tallest midget. Like respectfully, he's not as over as Will Ospreay. He's not as over as Swerve. He's
so
not
you
as over as
dislike
Kenny.
Hangman?
Nah, I
So
think
He's
let,
not. He's
let
not.
me get this straight because you believe that he's not as over as Swerve and Will Ospreay. He's just not
There are
over.
five more
He's a
people.
way bigger draw than Osprey.
There's
That's crazy.
5 more people way
yeah, I
over
was
than Hangman.
He's
And
still
who
that
though?
doesn't take away the
Who?
fact
Will
that he's
Ospreay is
not
more
that
over
he's
than
over.
Swerve is more
Nah,
over than
not
him.
right now, ain't not right now.
Yes,
Not
he
right,
is.
not right
I'm-
now.
So
Osprey,
that's sorry, Bar. Sorry, I was gonna say that's like saying CM Punk isn't over because Jey Uso's over, or like anybody else isn't over because
a good example.
Again, he's if he's the fourth guy. If again Omega, yeah, Swerve, yeah, Osprey, yeah, but like who else? You know what I mean?
If,
To like a real degree, like sure you can say Darby Allin's over and Orange Cassidy's over, but like over to what degree? Like not to the degree that Hangman's over. Hangman comes out, dude, and people go crazy for Hangman. Dude.
yeah.
Again,
Ooh.
I just wanted to say this: if you dislike a
Fans
wrestler,
saying
if you dislike a
cowboy
wrestler
shit,
for the
cowboy
booking
shit, they
decisions that they're being put
cowboy
through,
shit. How is he not over?
hold on.
Hangman is less over than he was 4 years ago.
But that doesn't mean he's not over now.
No. But listen to what I'm saying. He's less over
But
than
he's
he was
still
4 years
over.
ago.
That's the thing. You're saying that he's not over.
If
but
you hold on,
everything that everybody's saying is like he
a
is
wrestler
over.
because they're being put through this booking decision, and not because of the talent that they hold in themselves, then that's your point. Your point. And your
Why
argument
would
is
I
dead.
like him? Why would I judge him for not the character that he is and the thing that he presents?
Because
Here's
that's what
what
he's
I'm
being
gonna say. Here, let's say this.
booked
I
as?
agree with
That's not
Dan.
him. I don't think that's a
Dan,
character.
Dan set this down in there. He
Are
was
most
like,
are
it's
most
easier to
characters
just
or
say
gimmicks,
that you
are they
don't like.
giving them to them?
Well,
Hold on,
well,
hold
one,
on.
one, one at a time. One at a time,
my
guys. One at a time. All right, go ahead, Dark.
I'm agreeing with Dan on this. Instead of arguing if he's over or not, it's a lot easier to just say that, hey, I just don't like the way he is, and leave it at that. Because
No,
everybody else on this panel is saying that he is over. Even the host bars, he is over.
Yeah,
Let
he's
me
over, man.
rearticulate, right? I don't mean that he's not over. I mean he's less over than he was 4 years ago. The things that they're actively doing, the thing that he is doing,
bro.
is making him less over than he was even when the promotion started. He's a
All
side
right,
guy.
all right,
He's
so-
not
so-
heel. That story has gone
All
in a
right.
circular fashion.
All right, so let me say this, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. I have to disagree because I think he's more over now than what he was over before. When he had his first championship run, that championship run was butt cheeks. I ain't even going front. I didn't believe. I thought he had some great matches. I ain't going front. He had some great matches, but I felt like as far as him as a character, it was trash. You know what I'm saying? I feel like what he's doing right now, leading back to him capturing the title one more time, I feel like is way better than what he was doing years ago. And if you really think about it, when he was cutting his promos, he kind of even referred to it. He kind of said it himself, like, yeah, I didn't know myself back then. Now I know who I am. And you kind of can tell in his matches, you could tell in his character and his ability, you could tell like he has more confidence in his approach with things. Like you like we all used to say, there's a lot of us that used to say that his promos was mid. His promos are not
promos are
mid
still
right
mid.
now. No, they're
So
not.
it's
still
man.
mid.
No, they're not.
Hold on.
man.
So what do you mean less? What do you mean
Wait.
less
Do y'all
over?
think the
It's
promo
either if
last
he's
week
over
or
or
whatever
not.
week it was,
Wait,
with
no, hold on.
Ospreay and him were good?
Can I say something, bro? Can I say something, Bars?
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, because I've been trying to get a word in edgewise with this. I've been trying to kind of look between the negativity and try to look for some takes and stuff like that. And I didn't disagree with a lot of the stuff you said. Obviously, I very disagree with the Hangman Adam Page thing, but that's not what I want to talk about, bro. Look, I get the talk about the flippy moves and all that shit, but like, okay, when there's too much of a good thing, it becomes desensitized, and then you don't have that same effect. That's what people are representing with the flippy shit. However, Rey Fenix is one of the most talented wrestlers that we have on the current roster right now. Like, and the fact that like saying like again, that's your personal preference. That's your personal preference.
But you saying that is a personal preference, right? Rey
Bro, it's
Fenix
really
objectively
not.
is not that great.
He puts on banger matches. He's been doing
What
it
is a
in the
banger
indies
match
for
to you?
years.
He does a lot of flips.
No, he's
Hold
consistent,
on,
concise,
real
clean
quick.
with his
So
moves.
you pointing out to
He's not
Doofy
very
that
clean with
is
his
a
moves at
personal.
all.
You point out to Doofy that was a personal preference. That just goes to show that what you're saying about Hangman is also a personal preference.
I have a question. What do you mean less over? It's either if he's over or if he's not. What do you mean by less? I don't understand.
It's more so like you said that he's less over than he used to be after you said the fact that he's not over at all.
Makes no sense. It's either if he's over. Or
So
not.
because I clarify, because y'all were telling me that he's over, right? If we accept
He
that
is
he's
over
over, I'm
right
not even here to agree or disagree that he's over or not, right? He is over, right? He's a top 5 babyface in AEW.
But now you're changing your tune right now.
Well, let me be clear about the point that I'm making. The character that he is portraying, that he has portrayed over the past 5 years, has made him less over than he was before he started portraying and taking on these characteristics of a sad, downtrodden babyface.
Bro, Adam Page got way more hate back then than he does now, bro. He is so over with the fans.
When his music would hit, the little hooves would used to hit when there was a packed audience in AEW, they would go nuts for him. And now it's a smaller crowd than ever in a small ass room where the Titantron almost touches the ring, and there's a passive pop for him.
Why is there so much? Why is there so much negativity? You're not.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I just wanted to say this. Like some of the points that you're making makes no sense whatsoever. You said that he was less over. What does that mean?
You just said 3 different points.
He's less popular. He gets less of a reaction with the crowd than he did 5 years ago.
How would he be less popular than he already is if he's a #1 merchant as of now? That is.
Say it again.
I said, how would he be less famous than he is now if he's the #1 merch seller in AEW?
I'm not saying less famous, less over. He is less popular. He gets less of a reaction from the crowd. That's what I'm saying.
So he didn't just get a pop tonight?
Bro, everybody, bro, first of all, there's
really
less
just
people than there's
Phantom
ever been in
Cowboys,
AEW.
like,
Reflective
every week.
of their stars are not as over as you think they are. They get less
So,
pay-per-view
okay,
buys
thinking
than
about
they
the
have in the
strategies
past.
too,
Maybe
like,
those
okay,
people
first
aren't
it
as
was-
over as you think they are.
What do you
Because
think?
someone is presented in a way does not mean that they're actually over.
What do you think a face should act? A baby face should act.
Let me ask you this way. If John Cena was as over as Adam Hangman Page, he would hang himself. CM Punk was as over as Adam Hangman Page is, as you think he is, CM Punk would hang himself.
What kind of statement is that?
If Jey Uso woke up one morning and was as over as you believe Adam Hangman Page is, he would off himself. Jey Uso sells more t-shirts
Yeah, I
than
don't
all of
want.
AEW.
Yeah. Just got use TikTok language, bro, because I don't
Sorry.
want them to cancel.
I
the live.
apologize.
Yeah,
Jey
no,
Uso
you
sells
good.
more t-shirts than all of
I'm not gonna lie,
AEW.
like,
So
that
the
brings
scale
no
that you're
value.
using is not an effective scale.
That brings no value to the argument. You just
Why doesn't it?
put two wrestlers
Can
in
you tell me
comparison.
why you believe Hangman?
I
is
asked you,
over?
what does a face mean to you? That's
Why do you think he's over? What does it mean to be over to?
I think everybody's just kind of overcomplicating it because the whole fact of the matter is that not only is he over
because
now,
he's
but
entertainment
improved.
and wrestler.
Hold on,
wrestling fans make
hold on,
entertainment.
Ross. Yo, hold on a second, Ross. He's improved in every aspect, and the fans are behind him, especially that match that he had for the finals of the Owen Hart tournament, bro. That match was insane, and the fans were behind Page, bro. They were. He was over as hell.
Literally,
So I don't know
most
what to watch.
AEW fans and people that watch AEW were confused as to why Ospreay didn't win.
Okay,
He's
what?
more over than Hangman Page.
Because a casual fan is going to think Will
Now it's a
Ospreay.
casual fan.
Majority of the people. wanted
people
Hangman-
in general, more people think that
Yes, wrestling
Will
fans.
Ospreay is better and like Will Ospreay.
All right, so let's do this.
So again, the question is, what do
Yeah,
you think
Bars,
over
please,
is?
please.
All right, so let's do this. So we got because it seems like we going nowhere here.
I
so
agree.
we just gonna agree to disagree with this.
Can I just ask Rox what he believes over is?
All right, go ahead
Bro,
because
this
I
is not
want to
gonna
hear.
go anywhere.
I want to hear what Mayor got to say, and I definitely want to hear what Don got to say. Don's been trying to talk for a minute.
So, can we backtrack to my argument earlier in the chat?
So we'll get back to this. We'll get back to this at a
Yo,
little bit
Bars.
later. Who's
Yo, Bars,
who's
can I-
echoing? Somebody
I
got
don't know.
mute.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm mute.
If for
Yo,
once it's not you, Bart.
Yo, Bars, I'm not gonna lie. Can we backtrack to what I was arguing about in the comments real quick? Because I've joined this live and I've seen a few people say WWE doesn't build talent. I believe AEW and WWE both don't know how to build talent. For example, Hold on. For example, Dante Martin, Anna Jay, Thunder Rosa, AR Fox. Like, you have AR Fox who's consistently putting on great matches from week to week, and you're having him wrestle in a pre-show in a 6-man tag team match instead of him.
Can I stop you? Can I stop you with all the names you mentioned?
Instead of him being the TNT champion, I think AEW and both WB are both reliant when it comes to older talent instead of pushing newer talent. Like, for example, why is Adam Cole TNT champion right now? Like, I don't understand. Like, he's good, right? But I believe that title should be at a point where it should be in a lower card, like people such as like Kevin Knight, Nick Wayne, AR
roster brand, and what have they done for him lately?
Put a chain on.
Nepotism isn't even involved, and this man has been like deserves a belt.
Hold on,
Canelo deserves a belt for Dragunov.
Hold on.
Dragunov had a hurt leg. What are we talking about? He doesn't come back till September.
Yeah,
he was on the path. He was actually supposed to be the one that was fighting Gunther.
Yeah, he had a full year in the main roster. You didn't know that?
He has been out for a full year. What are you talking about?
No,
he was the one that was supposed to fight Gunther last year.
He debuted April.
He was on the road to actually be the one that was going to take the belt off of him.
He debuted a week after
himself.
WrestleMania, and then he got hurt on October.
That's so delusional.
So that's 7 months into the main event scene. What was he doing? He lost the qualifying rounds of getting as a King of the Ring, and after the fact, what else? Nothing.
Are you guys talking about
elite, bro? You arguing.
So hold on. Where did the conversation go? Because I dipped off. So what happened? Can y'all update me real quick?
We're talking about homegrown talent in AEW, and then she like try to transfer into WWE.
Homegrown talent. Oh my God.
Hold on, brother. Because you actually set the table. Hold on, brother. You actually set the table with saying WWE and AEW allegedly both.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to convert into WWE. I was just speaking AEW first.
No, right. But you can't set the table with both companies, but then expect us to stay on one, and then bring up the same thing with WWE. Because my response to the WWE part, everybody here that knows me on these lives know. Now, excuse the truck noise behind me, but WWE has for a long time had a problem with building their own homegrown stars for a very long time. And cut me off. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. I mean, just go ahead. What you gonna say?
I just think, my apologies for cutting you off, right? But I just think I just think AR Fox, AR Fox, who's just as good as a wrestler than Will Ospreay, right? Claim that Will Ospreay is. I just think he's just as good as Will Ospreay having a wrestling match in a pre-show, which is nasty.
I give. All right, now here's the thing, though. I give you that, and not 100% because Will Ospreay and AR Fox are both dope. AR Fox is not close to Will Ospreay's level right now, but if we were in a world where the wrestling was everything, I'm totally with you as far as who should be on top and who shouldn't be. But you gotta have a mixture, a little bit of everything. You gotta, and even in the AEW, and I'm not saying that on a way of I'm shooting bail at WWE for WWE or nothing like that, but we're in a time where you gotta have a little bit of everything. I personally, I'm like you. I'm a wrestling first kind of guy. Then everything else comes around. AR Fox is a hell of a talent in that ring. I haven't seen much personality out of that man. Now, one could say, okay, yes, he needs more time on TV, yada, yada, yada. But there's only but so much television time that goes around. We talk about this all the time. There's only but so much television time that goes around. There's only certain stories that are going around that on certain times that get and earn the television time. AR Fox, when he's on television, he puts on great wrestling matches. Eventually, he will be in a position to then display the rest of it. Because the wrestling, yes, it will get you a lot of places, especially with us fans who want to see the in-ring. But I hate to be that person against some of my own thoughts, but you still need that extra. He hasn't displayed that yet. But again, to the point of the W, and I'm going back to clarify again. Whoever said Bianca Belair might be their most recent and last like big WWE built from the bottom up, I totally agree.
That was
I
me.
mean, Rhea Ripley,
Yes,
Damian
Wait,
Priest.
I have a question
and
really quick. Bars,
all
are
of
you
Judgment
watching the
Day.
screen?
but
Bars,
but
are you watching the screen?
Yeah,
Keep looking.
yeah, I'm
Keep
watching.
looking. Keep looking. Keep looking. Oh,
What the? What is this?
Bars, you're beautiful.
What? Yo, y'all funny. Y'all real funny.
there you go. You met your goal. Okay,
So
Yo,
as
go.
of
yo.
as of
so no,
recently, do
so
we?
hold on,
So as
hold
of
on, hold
recently,
on,
we
hold
believe.
on. Let me
Oh,
finish. Let me finish. Because when I now I'm giving you this from the perspective of WWE, they still don't call their wrestlers wrestlers. They call themselves superstars. Superstar to me means you transcend further outside of your sport. Bianca Belair has been the one person who's actually transcended outside of, and more people know outside of. Rhea Ripley, yes, certain avenues, certain areas, but it's still not to the level of Bianca. Shit, her and her husband had their own television show. A lot of them haven't been able to be the star. Now, in the company, have they built their names? Yes. And as I always say, they're currently in a youth movement right now. That's why Bailey's getting treated the way she's getting treated. Yeah, okay, Becky, Becky Bolea is around because I don't say the other name. Becky Bolea is around, but she's also there helping build the young Irish talent right now. She's helping build others right now. They they had problems. They have a star in a Jacob Fatu right now, but Jacob came in with energy because if you paid attention to him before, he was a monster. He was the top dog in MLW. You know what I'm saying? Braun, like Angel said, Braun, he had his legacy behind him. I almost wanted to disagree with Angel because the first name that came to my mind was Curtis Axel. But when you're talking about success within the WWE, they gave that man all the chances and put him in all the spots. He actually
Ted
held gold.
DiBiase.
Yes, he actually held gold, but he still personality wise didn't pan out to be much. So nepotism, it gets you places, but it doesn't get you all the way. You still got to be able to deliver on your own. That spins back to your statements about the AL Foxes and AEW. Not AEW has been building stars. It takes time. 6-year-old company who's got a long way to go, and I'm not staying the 6 years like, oh, we got to still give them time. We got to still give them time. But we do have to give them time to further expand on building said superstars that branch outside of it, which they've been doing a great job with. Reebok deals, freaking Street Fighter commercials. I think they're doing fine in the building stars department. And I'll mute. My bad, Don. You've been waiting.
Nah, it's all good. I think
okay. So I just have one more question.
rocks, man. You
Nah,
been
let
doing this for
Don
the last
go. Let
15
Don
minutes,
go.
bro.
Hold on. Don gotta
I was
talk,
silent
man.
for the last 15 minutes.
Don been waiting patiently. I gotta let Don cook. So go ahead, man. Go ahead, speak your piece, man.
Bro, I mean, we've been all over the place. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm trying to really get back to what the main question was about, which was Jey Uso, our truth. But I'm gonna just stick that to Jey Uso right now because I mean we just been going on for too long. But for the Jey Uso situation, I thought it was kind of unfortunate, but um, I do agree with you, Bars, as far as in Jey Uso. I feel like outside of the letters, one word. I don't feel like they have gotten anywhere because I remember somebody mentioned in a comment that every champion doesn't deserve a reign, but I feel like we being selective because Damian Priest had a decent. I mean, he wasn't that great, but he had a reign. Gunther had a reign. The working champion Seth Rollins had a reign. So why doesn't Jey Uso deserve one? I mean, he just was on.
Jey Uso not isn't as talented as
Come on, bro. You've been
AB
talking for
Priest.
like the last 15 minutes, bro.
I mean, but I gave you the obvious answer, so it's like.
Never mind. I'm good, bro.
No, Don, go ahead.
Nah, man, go ahead and finish your
continue with what you're
statement, bro.
saying.
Finish your statement,
Don
bro.
Don Killings, please come on. You're the truth and nothing but the truth. Give us the truth.
No, I was just saying, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying, bro. Like Cody Rhodes, he got an answer for everything, don't he? I'm like, God, no, but like, Jay is just like, I feel like he definitely deserved to have more of a wrestling run. I mean, I don't know what that would have necessarily looked like, but I do agree with you, Bars. Like, there is some talent, but nobody doesn't want to take the L, and I'm kind of frustrated by that because it's not going to hurt anybody's legacy, as you reference. And I feel like at the end of the day, if it was a run with CM Punk, or if it was a run with, I can't even think of anybody right now, honestly. But you get my point. I just feel like that with AEW too as well. Like, I enjoy, like, the programming today has been pretty good. Like, we had Will Ospreay and Swerve, and if it was a clean win, then I would have definitely, like, wouldn't matter who would have won. But that's why I enjoy it most, is because at the end of the day, if Swerve would have took the L today, or if Will Ospreay would have took the L, we'll be moving on. We wouldn't be upset. We just know that those are just two high level talents, and they telling the story inside the ring. And with Jey Uso, I just don't think that he had that great opportunity to really tell the story inside the ring. Is he the greatest in ring? Not the best, but I do feel that we saw something on Monday. I felt like there was some believability and some credibility there when there was the back and forth with the submission with him and Gunther. I felt like we were seeing where Jey Uso could have been inside the ring, and I was just kind of disappointed that it ended that way. But maybe he's the mystery King of the Ring guy next week. Who knows?
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty cool. He can get there, he can work for it again, and he can get his rematch clause in. So hopefully that happens. But other than that, like, I do feel like it was kind of underwhelming with his title reign. But if he does get another opportunity, I hope it's just not the 4 letters, 1 word. I actually want to see him be able to defend it with the high level talent in his class of like heavyweights and heavyweights. And I think he not necessarily going to say deserve, but I do kind of feel like he deserved that chance because he was built up for the last 5 years under Roman Reigns, just for him to have the main event Jey Uso tag, but he not really getting that main event Jey Uso match as what we want to see inside the ring. It's just coming in with the crowd, merchandise sales, phrases. We all understand that's part of the business, but I actually want to see him get an opportunity inside the ring with his peers.
Now, can I finally answer the Jey Uso question because we got sidetracked?
Oh yeah.
No, not because of you, because that gave me vibes of what's the old Zipper, whatever the fuck his name was. that gave me those vibes right there. But this kid was actually more peaceful, so shouts out to you. Whatever his name was, I don't remember. Not to be disrespectful, but yes, Ladybug, it was about Jey Uso. It was Jay losing the title to me. So what? It's literally so what. And like I said on Bars' video today, it was Jay getting the title was Tony Storm and my bad. Tony Storm and Mercedes just kissed in the ring.
What's that? Hold on, let me go back.
We talking this WWE nonsense, and AEW is killing it right now.
It wasn't
anyway,
nothing special.
No, it wasn't. It was nice.
Can I go after Dan, by the way?
But anyway, Angel was next. My bad, dude. But anyway, Jey Uso getting losing the title was thank you for your service, main event guy. you did what you had to do. Thank you for selling the merch. But we gotta put some legitimacy on the workhorse title, the alleged workhorse title. We gotta put some legitimacy back on that, in my opinion. But Jay, like, the company didn't put him in spots to succeed, in my opinion. From my opinion, it looked like they just had him shadowing Cody a lot, which was whatever. But they I can say that I can agree with that they didn't do right by him, but for him to have had a longer run with that belt, for what? With who? Who was it like? And that's my who was his rivals? Who he's supposed to be a face. He should have had people chasing him. Gunther was chasing him for his rematch. He got him back. That's it. It's over. I, it didn't matter. He became a guy talking about less over, more over, the kids over. He became a guy who doesn't need a championship title around his waist to still be who he is. And to be honest with you, that should be okay. The whole label of deserve, he only deserved because of the amount of money that he put in that company's pocket.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's that.
Maybe Dan, like I thought it was probably gonna end up being him and Logan Paul, just so he can actually have some type of story built
No,
with another superstar outside of Gunther. Though that's what I was thinking.
We don't need Logan Paul for shit. Hi, Angel. Hi, Ladybug. What up, OVW?
Okay, so what was all the questions, or was this just the first question? So I have an idea since now I got my phone fixed.
This was the original question, and then somehow
Oh,
it went into
God.
Hangman not being over and going into all that other jazz.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
Okay, just to kind of piggyback off what Mira said, like I agree with pretty much everything everybody said about Jey Uso. I feel like he is a victim of this habitual lazy story writing that's been going on. They really could have done better with building him up. And I'm honestly worried about what's happening next with his character. We were speaking about this earlier. Like, as far as him going back to a tag team, I would think that would honestly defeat the entire past 2 years of his character. And as far as King the Ring is concerned, I don't see him entering that because I'm looking right now at the brackets. That mystery opponent is with Sheamus, Rusev, and Bronson Reed. You put Jey Uso in that match, I don't see that. I'm sorry. And then if you do that, you're still putting people like Karrion Kross, Ilya Dragunov, people who could return. You're putting their chances of character development at risk. R-Truth, he could technically be in that, and you're putting his character development at risk. So my take on this is just a lot of unfortunate bad story writing. And I think that's one of the biggest problems with TKO in WWE in general.
So, to go off of that, I've said this before, they fucked up since the Royal Rumble. Like, I'm sorry, they put Jay with the wrong person. He would have had more opponents and a better storyline on SmackDown. He may have not been the same, champion, but at least it would have meant something. Cena should have took the belt off of Gunther. Plain and simple. It would have gone over. He could still turn heel. Blah 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 blah. Am I sad that Jay lost after 50 days? Not really, because it was lackluster. Whoopee, you have Yeet. It's just not working. If they put him back with his brother, I wouldn't be surprised, because then you have the good versus evil, bad Jimmy doing no Yeet.
It just doesn't make any sense. The business decisions that they have made doesn't make any sense. For them to be $3 billion in debt, they take the title off of your most over superstar on Raw in Jey Uso. He's your world champion. Doesn't really make sense to me. So I don't know. Plus they've done other things, but like I said, I think it's just the respect factor. I mean, the fact that he never defended it on a premium live event, he lost it on a random episode of SmackDown in a meaningless storyline that really made him look weak. I mean, I don't rock with that. And I love Gunther and dislike Jay, but you feel what I'm saying? I just feel like they did him dirty for real.
Yeah, I don't have to. I didn't have to be in. I was in and out, but I already know. Like, I've been saying this all day. Like, I disagree. I don't like the way they did Jey Uso. I feel like it was wrong. They just need to do better. moving forward. They need to do better. And it's funny, it's like we've been saying this for a while that they need to do better when it comes to this writing, but they never do better though. They always do worse. They always
Yeah.
do worse.
I'm gonna say this. Here's the worst part, okay? Because it's always we've heard that rumor, Gunther versus Goldberg. I swear to you, I will get rid of Peacock and everything, and I will never talk to WWE with you guys if they put that belt on him.
I rebuke all that.
They
I'm not
won't do that.
speaking.
No, they're not gonna put the belt on Goldberg. They're not gonna put
Yeah,
it on
this is his
Goldberg.
last match. He ain't gonna win. He definitely
Yeah,
ain't gonna win.
well, they've done stupider shit. I would say that.
And again, old school rules. Technically, he's supposed to go out looking at the lights.
Yep.
Well, they better do an ambulance match then. That way the ambulance can take him to the senior home.
Oh yeah, an ambulance match. That's just gonna push everything. It's gonna push it from a 2-minute match to a 5-minute match. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's gonna be a quick few spears here and there, a couple chops. It's gonna
Then
end
I push
quickly.
on a stretcher right into that
Yep,
ambulance.
that's it.
Well, from what I'm hearing, Goldberg is training like he want to work a marathon of a match. That's what they're saying. He keep getting injured during his training for the match. He keeps getting hurt.
Need to do Goldberg son on a pole match.
Not Goldberg son on the pole.
A gauge on a pole. Gauge on a pole.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo. That's not bars right there.
What? That's his name, Gage. His
I
name
know,
is...
I know. I'm just...
Did y'all see his son with the tattoo as well?
Yeah, man, but I guess we just gonna have to see what's gonna happen moving forward. You know,
Y'all know I got 1,000 jokes.
Listen. Angel's in timeout for 5 minutes for even bringing Goldberg's name up.
Oh.
No, he said it's going to get worse, and I've agreed. Like it's going to get way worse, like way beyond worse. Like we know what's coming next. And
You
I
in
don't
timeout. You
want
brought
it.
his name up. If he appears, I'm blaming you.
Goldberg.
Well, he's reported to be on Raw next week, is what I've been seeing.
See, OVW put that out there, not me.
It's the
I don't
Angel's
want him.
fault.
You know I wanted
You just
just
brought
to
him up.
see
You brought him
people
up first.
mad. I wanted just to see people pissed off.
I wanted Logan Paul to win that belt to piss off everybody.
Oh,
But,
no.
that would have been a better thing. Don't shake your head now. Don't shake
That's a
your head
level
now.
of violence we don't need.
Actually,
That was the level of violence I wanted.
I have to agree. I think putting the belt on Logan Paul would have definitely garnered a lot of heat, and actually would have
Thank
been a
you.
good thing, honestly.
Nah, there's a difference between heat and real hate. That would have garnered real hate.
Which would
Wait a
have in
minute.
turn garnered a lot of heat. Probably would have
Daffy
made
Duck.
Logan Paul say what?
He say all this stuff and you don't mute his mic?
Who muted? What happened? What happened?
No, she's just clapping at Darkwing.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
He loves
What?
to mute Angel.
He keeps muting me, and OVW is putting out here all this stuff about Logan Paul. And
I'm sorry, I
That's
kind
for
of agree
whining.
with it. I
That's
kinda-
for whining.
I don't want it to
not a
happen.
mute, nothing.
That's for whining. Quit whining.
Protest.
Hey, Angel, don't you still have the same capabilities too, though? Don't you have the same capabilities?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Like, you know what? I'm not doing your show now. How about that? Take those apples.
Why are you getting mad at me? I ain't do nothing.
I'm not mad at
She
you.
talking
I'm
about
mad
me.
at him.
Hey, speaking of shows,
No,
offline, I need to
Guys.
get with you, Bar.
no, you don't need to get
Okay.
to no one. No, he don't need to get with you. Your secretary's banned it. I mean, I banned it. I forbid it.
Hey. This is funny.
I thought we dropped that secretary label.
We did. It was just, I was just brain fart.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow. Oh, Willow and them won.
Oh, I missed
Arizona.
Willow.
You
God
missed
damn it.
Willow.
Well, I didn't miss her. I see her on TV now, but I was trying to
what's
finish
it-
my night here at work.
I ordered a Willow T-shirt this weekend.
Did you really?
Yes,
They have her. They dropped her jacket too. Her jacket looks cute.
I gotta
Can-
get me a
can-
Ricochet shirt.
Can I get a quick sidebars to say Ladybug, I told you so.
I know. Thank you.
And I
Yeah.
say that if y'all don't know, when I gave her like props for what she's been doing, and she brought up Ashe on a post the other yesterday, and I kept giving her the encouragement of, yo, keep doing that, because you never know who's looking, you never know who's watching, and guess who says thank you on the post?
Shit, yeah, I seen that. That's
Not
that.
only
Yep.
that, they reposted on their Facebook, their Instagram. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, that's a good
Yay.
look. That's a good
Yeah.
look. That is
Yeah,
a good.
thank you.
That's what we. But hey, that's what we supposed to be doing. Like really, that's what we supposed to be doing. That's why I
Yeah.
feel like it's so important to be engaging with these promotions and engaging with these wrestlers, because you never know who will pop up on your live. You never know who will pop up on anything. So
Right.
yeah, yeah. I
That
shared that
Ladybug,
too. I shared it
2025
too.
is your year.
Mhm.
Sorry for the background noise. Yeah, like I said, keep that level of good work up, because like I said, next thing will be, hey, you said you're close to in town, come to this event on us.
I can't wait.
So keep it up for them.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm going to be, just to let y'all know, I'm going to be dropping that interview with Mr. Entertainment tomorrow. I dropped the other two videos already with Mancho's Mayhem and Pro Wrestler Perfection. They're on YouTube. When y'all get an opportunity, please like and share it, comment below. Like, I'm trying to get those views up for those videos. You know, the Mr. Entertainment is probably the most compelling one, because he had a lot to say on that video. I'm gonna be dropping that joint tomorrow. So y'all, when y'all get a minute, please check it out. I appreciate
Man,
it.
forget that video for a second and save them kids' lives in the background coughing like that.
Nah, he ain't coughing. He's supposed to be in bed. He's supposed. Let me tell you something about my son. My son is so hard headed. My youngest son is so hard headed. He's
It's like
supposed to be in
Darkwing's son on the live last night.
Oh yeah, yo. Yeah, like this dude is so hard headed. I was seeing my wife off to work. This dude gets up out the bed, starts following me down the steps to come back into the studio. Now he wants me to rush off the live and then go upstairs, but he's supposed to be sleeping.
It's because I want a snack.
No, what would you need a snack for? You wasn't worried about no snack when you was over there playing on mommy's phone. Was you worried about a snack then?
I was worried.
No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't.
Yes,
Oh, I relate to this world too much.
I promise I will.
No, I don't want. No. Nope.
Come on, man, have a heart.
Yo,
See, my
don't
mama
pay.
would have been like, "Eat your fingernails. You're not that hungry."
Don't paint me
Go
to be
bed.
the villain. Don't paint me to be the villain. This guy don't want to listen. This guy don't want to listen.
Hey, Darkwing was kicking his son out the room last night too.
Yeah. Where was your heart,
So,
Daffy Duck, when you were kicking your son out the room?
So,
Your poor kid. He could have stubbed his toe with that door you were shutting.
At least y'all got small little
his big
kids.
sister
My
was out
kids
here.
is-
His big sister was out in the living room with him.
Yeah, I don't have these
All he
problems.
wanted was to spend
My
time
kids
with
ignore
you.
me. My
Yeah,
kids
I'm about to
ignore
say
me.
the same
So.
thing.
Let me tell you something about this guy. Let me tell you something about my son, right? I signed this guy up for football camp last year, right? This guy don't listen nothing to what I say as far as football. Let me tell you what he did. The coach gave him two plays, right? They were playing against the Atlantic City Dolphins in a scrimmage. He gave him the plays. He got a handoff. He broke like 2 tackles and almost got the touchdown. And I sat there and tried to tell him similar things to get him motivated to play. And all the coach, I don't know what the coach said to him. This dude broke like 2 tackles and almost got a touchdown. I looked at this dude. I was saying, you got to be kidding me, right? I'm your father. You don't even, You don't even hit a word and listen to me, but you listening to this guy you just met for like 2 seconds.
Dude, have you played organized sports, right? Right?
Yeah,
It be like that, and you know that. So stop it. You know that it's like that.
yeah, man.
Coaches coach for a reason. They have a switch that us
Hey,
parents just
Ladybug.
might not know.
Yeah, man.
See
I
you
was
later.
like shocked. I was. I'm gonna post the video too and show y'all. I was shocked. I said, man, this guy, man. Like, I was proud of him. You know what I mean? Everybody was like, yo, that, hey, there's like, yo, Vic, ain't that your son? Ain't your son? I was like, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna post the video. Y'all gonna hear me in the background screaming at him. Like it was funny. It was funny, but I wasn't that good in football. I was better in basketball, but they seem to gravitate to football. So
It's good stuff. Good stuff.
yeah, but let me get this guy to bed. I appreciate the convo, you guys. I'm gonna try to go live tomorrow, but y'all might see me in a different attire. But I'm gonna try to go live tomorrow when I go on break, or when we have like a little bit of a recess time, because I'm gonna be in like a big meeting. But I'm gonna still try to go live just to see what's going on. So yeah, I'll definitely try to see you guys tomorrow and stuff like that. And whatever. What did you want to tell me? Oh, matter of fact, just call me. I'll just call you. I'll just call you when I get off. I'll just call you, Dub. I'll just call
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. So I'll check you guys out tomorrow. You know what I mean? Great conversation as usual. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all guys later.
Peace
Have a
easy.
good night, man.
Good night. Good night. What is it, man? What? What is it? Huh? What is it? Hold on. Hold on. Calm down.
Hello.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, you work in the mental health space, right?
Yes.
So, me and Angel were talking, and we want to hold a live, mainly about mental health. Would
Uh-huh.
you be interested in doing that with us?
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think with you working in the field, you would have extensive knowledge on that, and so it'll be me, you,